For thousands of years, the Kundalini awakening has been described as a mystical spiritual energy, a force rising from the base of the spine to deliver overwhelming bliss and expanded consciousness. But scientist Itzhak Bentov proposed a different explanation. He argued this isn't a supernatural event, but a predictable, mechanical chain reaction built into the human body. According to Bentov's model, Kundalini is a localized electrical stimulus. It sweeps across the brain's sensory cortex, triggered by a specific resonance in our circulatory system. What exactly is the physical domino effect that allows the body to transition from a normal state into this intense, self-stimulating electrical circuit? To understand these altered states, we have to look past spiritual interpretations and examine the biomechanical engineering of the heart and brain. The process begins with the heart. During periods of deep relaxation or rhythmic breathing, the heart's natural mechanical vibration can synchronize into a harmonious frequency of approximately 7 Hz. This 7 Hz wave travels up the spinal cord, rhythmically striking the skull. Acting as a resonating chamber, the vibration agitates fluid inside the brain's third ventricle, forming a standing wave. This wave exerts mechanical pressure on the corpus callosum, the nerve bridge connecting the brain's hemispheres. Under this constant acoustic pressure, the left and right hemispheres are forced into a state of perfect synchronization. In this model, the body functions as a literal acoustic chamber, where the heart physically plays the brain's anatomy like a tuned instrument. The sensory cortex maps the body, the homunculus. Feet are in the deep center crevice. The face sits outside. Vibrations polarize the deepest gray matter, sparking an electrical charge mapped to the feet. This signal travels upward, sequentially stimulating the legs, torso, and arms. The ascending energy described in ancient texts corresponds directly to an electrical signal tracing the brain's internal map of the body from bottom to top. As this signal completes a closed loop, the path of the current passes adjacent to the brain's pleasure centers. The proximity of this electrical activity triggers an intense, localized release of dopamine and endorphins, explaining the reported state of bliss. Because the sensory and motor cortexes sit adjacent, the electrical signal often crosstalks. This stimulates the motor nerves, creating the sensation of movement or levitation even when the body is perfectly still. These sensations frequently begin on the left side of the body because meditation is an intuitive, nonverbal process. This primarily activates the right hemisphere of the brain, which in turn governs the body's left side. For Bentov, the physical experiences of out-of-body floating and intense ecstasy are biological results of a localized electrical circuit stimulating the brain's sensory map. This brings us to a phenomenon called piezoelectricity, where applying mechanical stress or vibration to a material generates an electromagnetic field. The brain possesses piezoelectric properties. As the 7 Hz wave continues to strike the skull, it physically distorts the brain tissue, projecting a pulsating electromagnetic field outward from the head. Bentov hypothesized that this field transforms the brain into a biological antenna. By generating its own electromagnetic signature, the brain may become capable of interacting with and receiving external information frequencies. This process isn't limited to meditation. Because the trigger is a simple frequency, long-term exposure to everyday 4 to 7 Hz vibrations, like the hum of a car or a large air conditioning unit, can spontaneously induce these electrical symptoms in a sensitive nervous system. Kundalini is a latent biological mechanism that responds to specific environmental and internal frequencies, a reminder of how deeply our consciousness is tied to the physics of our surroundings.